I'm back with the Diablo pre-release demo, primarily to show off some interesting glitches. Alright, so here's an interesting glitch. I can walk into the top of this house. This is one of several interesting clipping glitches that you may have noticed throughout my previous videos. For example, occasionally when I'm walking past the wounded townsman, his body will be hidden behind the grass, partially, and if I walk next to an object that I have dropped on the ground, it will sometimes go invisible.
What can I do for
Another
you?
fascinating glitch occurs in the buying items menu, and possibly even the selling items menu. If you click on the 0 that represents your gold, Griswold will offer to sell you an item called No Required Attribute, which has no price, and if you attempt to buy it, the game crashes. Now I'd like to show you another interesting glitch that comes up if you refuse to talk to the wounded townsman. There's the wounded townsman, and he wants me to listen to him and help him, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to continue forward into the cathedral and do some fighting. That sound means there was a critter over there that got hit with the arrow. In this case, a fiend. Possibly that specific one. Here we go. I can see the butcher's room right there. Now, I'm entering into this with equipment which is almost destroyed. Let's fix that in the case of the sword. So this might seem like suicide. However, if you never talk to the wounded townsman and hear what he has to say about the butcher does not in fact appear. The room that he's in appears. It was generated already with the dungeon. However, the butcher himself will not appear until you get the quest to defeat him. Not sure why. Another interesting thing that happens in the demo is a form of strange succession that I'm not sure was intentional because of how finicky it is to use. Notice that my character is currently carrying 34 gold pieces in his pocket. If I save my game, and then start a new game, with a new character, completely different person, let's call him Tristan, for no particular reason, he will arrive in town, completely fresh slate, new character, no stat ups, even if I give him stat ups, no gold, no inventory.
What can I do
But if I
for
try
you?
to do some shopping, he'll have access to all of the gold that the previous character had on him. And in fact, this is a feature which can chain forward. By that I mean, if Tristan now goes into the dungeon and collects some gold, and has that on his person, and then I save the game and start a new one as an entirely new character, the new character will get access to a credit line including Tristan's credit line and Tristan's current gold. What does a hidden shrine do? Energy passes through your equipment. I think that may have destroyed my shield. Oh! It upgraded my short sword's permanent durability. Possibly at the cost of my buckler. I suppose I also haven't shown you how the warrior dies, so since I died in this run, I might as well give you the chance to see that. Okay, I've played as Tristan for a while now. I got him up to level 5, cleared most of the dungeon, talked to the wounded townsman, and dispatched the butcher. I've sold all of his equipment.
What do you seek?
And now his gold total, including what was left to him by the previous adventurer as credit, and what's in his pockets, is 7,744. So if I save the game here, make sure you save, it won't work otherwise, and start yet again as, let's call him Hans.
What can I do for you?
For one thing, he gets access to all of that gold, not just the previous adventurer's pockets, but the entire lineage, as long as the lineage is kept up, by loading the saved game and starting a new game. If you start a new game immediately upon launching Diablo demo, then it won't have access to the strange legacy left to it by the previous adventurers. Just for fun and to prove that we can, let's buy that skull cap. Equip ourselves in fancy drabware leather armor, and pick up a morning star as a weapon. Now, let's make our way back to the dungeons, yet again, in this third adventure in a string. I hope I'll be able to show off the final thing, which is preserved when you save and then create a new adventurer.
The smell of death surrounds me.
Those fallen ones didn't do it for me, but if I keep moving... Come on, I need to find something other than fallen ones. There we go! That'll do. Notice that I have not gone any further than this. I cut away, but I haven't cheated. And those fiends? According to the game, I've already killed 9 of them. That's because that's the other thing which is preserved in an adventurer chain. Monster kills and the information you gain from them will be retained when you start a new adventure, as long as you either saved or loaded the previous adventure in the current session of the game being open. That's not an important perk. However, it does mean that you can get some basic information on the monsters after you've killed a lot of them in your entire legacy streak. Now that I've fought through an entire room packed with fiends, and gotten that kill counter up to 25 from 9 where it started, you can see that I have an additional piece of information. They are usually found on depths 2. I commented on this on my first run-through of the game. Fiends are not usually found on the first floor of the dungeon in the finished product. So, instead of telling you how much damage they do upon killing lots and lots of a given creature, the game will tell you what floor they're usually on. The only monsters I've unlocked this information for in any of my run-throughs so far have been regularly found on levels 1 or 2.
I have no room.
That concludes my look at the bizarre legacy mode of the Diablo demo. I'm still not sure whether it was intentionally featured in the game or not, and I may never know. I am going to continue taking advantage of it to attempt to show off as many of the different equipment artworks from the demo as I can. I'll put a comparison between the artwork that was featured in the Diablo pre-release demo and the artwork that was included in the final game in a later video.